The night air buzzed with anticipation as paparazzi cameras flashed relentlessly outside the chic new boutique in Atlanta, where whispers of celebrity appearances had sent fans into a frenzy. But nothing could have prepared anyone for the shocking sight that unfolded before the crowd's eyes. Jasmine Bleu, known for her glamorous lifestyle and unfiltered personality, arrived arm in arm with none other than Kirk Frost, the reality star whose relationship drama had dominated headlines for years. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd as fans craned their necks, phones outstretched, desperate to capture every moment. But the question on everyone's lips wasn't about the boutique or the exclusive designer pieces. It was about Rasheeda. Where was she? Why was she missing from what should have been a family affair? The absence of Kirk's longtime wife added a layer of tension, so palpable it seemed to hang in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. Emotions ran high as whispers turned into heated debates among fans outside. Some claiming they saw Jasmine and Kirk exchange secretive glances, others insisting it was all innocent. Yet, the energy suggested something far more complicated simmered beneath the surface. Inside, the boutique glittered with luxury and glamour. But behind the velvet ropes, insiders hinted at a confrontation brewing, one that could shake alliances, ignite jealousy, and reveal secrets no one expected. Cameras followed Jasmine as she laughed, seemingly carefree, while Kirk maintained a poised yet oddly tense demeanor, glancing over his shoulder as if anticipating trouble. Fans are shocked, and social media exploded within minutes. Hashtags demanding answers trended nationwide. The family was left divided, the audience enthralled, and questions began swirling. Did Rasheeda know about this appearance? Were tensions already escalating off-camera? And most importantly, what does this mean for the complicated web of relationships that viewers have watched unravel over the years? Tonight, the drama isn't just at the boutique, it's in every whisper, every stare, and every unanswered question, setting the stage for a story filled with intrigue, confrontation, and emotional fireworks that nobody will want to miss. The night started with an electric tension that no one could ignore. As Jasmine Bleu stepped out of her sleek black SUV, the crowd gasped and cameras flashed like a strobe, capturing every movement, every smirk, every glance that seemed loaded with unspoken meaning. Kirk Frost, always the center of attention whether he wanted it or not, walked beside her, his usual confident posture slightly tempered with something almost cautious. The whispers began immediately. "Where's Rasheeda?" Fans shouted from behind the barricades, their voices blending into a chaotic hum that echoed down the street. Phones were raised, recording every second, every detail that might hint at some hidden drama. Insiders at the boutique, a lavish space dripping with luxury fabrics and golden accents, murmured among themselves, their eyes darting toward the entrance as if they knew a storm was about to erupt. Inside, employees tried to maintain composure, arranging merchandise with trembling hands, aware that the arrivals of these two figures would inevitably draw attention away from everything else. Jasmine, with her signature confidence, moved gracefully through the crowd, her laughter ringing out like a bell. But even that laugh had an edge, sharp, deliberate, full of meaning that only some of the most observant could catch. Kirk's presence, though usually magnetic, seemed oddly measured tonight. He smiled, nodded, and greeted guests, yet there was a subtle tension in his eyes, a shadow that betrayed a deeper concern. Fans are shocked by the pairing. Social media was already erupting, speculating about secret meetings, hidden alliances, and whether Rasheeda was aware of the appearance. The family dynamic, always complicated, was now laid bare in a public setting, creating waves of speculation that could not be contained. As Jasmine approached a display of designer shoes, she paused, glanced at Kirk, and in that moment, it seemed as if something unsaid passed between them. Cameras captured the exchange. Fans screamed, and whispers of "what are they hiding?" spread like wildfire. Kirk, ever conscious of appearances, tried to maintain his calm, yet subtle signs tightened jaw. Brief hesitations, a glance over the shoulder suggested that all was not well. The boutique, filled with glittering chandeliers and mirrored walls, reflected more than just fashion. It reflected the intricate dance of emotion, power, and anticipation. Meanwhile, fans outside speculated frenetically. Some swore they had seen Rasheeda pull up earlier, only to leave moments later in apparent frustration. Others claimed she was watching from afar, her expression unreadable, fueling a narrative of betrayal, tension, and scandal. Insiders whispered about a potential confrontation, a moment where the carefully maintained veneer of civility could shatter in an instant. Jasmine's every movement was scrutinized, her smiles analyzed for hidden meanings, her gestures dissected in the relentless court of public opinion. Kirk's subtle reactions were equally dissected. Fans noted the brief pauses, the slight tightening of his hand, the flicker of concern in his eyes. Emotions ran high as the night unfolded, each second building on the last, creating a suspense that was almost unbearable. Conversations among guests were tense, laced with curiosity and judgment. As friends and family navigated the charged atmosphere, some tried to engage Kirk in casual chat, only to be met with polite, guarded responses that suggested deeper thoughts simmering beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Jasmine moved through the boutique, like a queen surveying her kingdom. Each nod, each glance, carefully measured. The tension was palpable, almost suffocating, as if the air itself had thickened with anticipation. Outside, fans continued their vigil, their excitement blending with concern. Social media erupted with live footage, trending hashtags, and rapid-fire speculation about the unfolding events. The absence of Rasheeda became the focal point of every conversation, every post, every whispered comment. Rumors of secret arguments, hidden jealousy, and unseen confrontations began to take shape in the minds of viewers, creating a narrative that would captivate audiences for days. Inside, the boutique staff tried to manage the crowd, but even they could sense that tonight was different. The usual glitz and glamour were overshadowed by the weight of expectation, by the unspoken question hanging over everyone: what was really happening between Jasmine and Kirk? And how did Rasheeda fit into the picture? As the evening progressed, Kirk and Jasmine found themselves surrounded by well-wishers, fans eager for selfies, compliments, and attention. Yet, even in these moments of public engagement, there was a tension that no smile could erase. Whispers followed them from corner to corner, some speculative, some accusatory, all charged with a sense of drama that seemed almost cinematic. At one point, Kirk's phone buzzed. He glanced at it briefly, a subtle frown crossing his features before he tucked it back into his pocket. Fans outside speculated wildly, imagining secret messages from Rasheeda, hidden texts, or urgent warnings. Jasmine, noticing the moment, tilted her head slightly, her expression unreadable, yet deliberately captivating. Every camera in the room focused on them, every fan's eyes traced their movements. And the boutique, though filled with luxury and design, became secondary to the unfolding drama between these two figures. Somewhere in the shadows, rumors swirled about prior conversations, clandestine meetings, and agreements made behind closed doors. Insiders suggested that Jasmine had called Kirk earlier in the day, a seemingly innocent invitation that now carried layers of intrigue. Kirk, always careful with his public persona, appeared to navigate the situation with controlled elegance. Yet every gesture, every glance, was a subtle hint that emotions ran deeper than the public could see. Fans' reactions ranged from excitement to concern. Some applauded the boldness of the appearance. Others whispered about possible betrayals, jealousy, or a brewing storm that could erupt at any moment. The absence of Rasheeda was a puzzle piece that everyone tried to place, yet no one could quite fit it into the larger picture. As conversations continued inside the boutique, one guest murmured to another, noting the charged atmosphere. "It's like watching a live reality show," she whispered, eyes wide with fascination. Others nodded in agreement, captivated by the unfolding drama, each moment more riveting than the last. The night stretched on, with subtle exchanges, fleeting glances, and the almost imperceptible tension of unspoken words. Jasmine's laughter occasionally rang through the boutique, yet even that carried an undertone of complexity, a suggestion that not everything was as it seemed. Kirk's controlled demeanor was both reassuring and unsettling, a delicate balance that seemed poised on the edge of revelation. Outside, the crowd continued to buzz, their anticipation mirrored in the rapid rise of social media trends. Hashtag speculating about Rasheeda's absence, the nature of Jasmine and Kirk's relationship, and potential confrontations spread like wildfire, creating a virtual storm that matched the intensity of the in-person scene. As the evening neared its peak, a sudden commotion at the boutique's entrance drew attention. A guest, seemingly frustrated by the chaos, raised their voice, unintentionally triggering a ripple of reactions among the attendees. Jasmine turned, her gaze sharp yet composed, while Kirk moved subtly closer, a protective stance that did not go unnoticed. The energy in the room shifted, a delicate dance of tension, intrigue, and anticipation that left everyone on edge. Fans are shocked as snippets of videos circulated online, showing the subtle yet telling gestures, the sideways glances, the brief pauses that seemed to suggest more than polite social interaction. The night, meant to celebrate fashion and luxury, had transformed into a live drama, a spectacle that blurred the lines between public appearance and private tension. As the boutique event continued, conversations became more layered. Each interaction a potential trigger for revelation or confrontation. Insiders whispered about previous arguments, alleged secrets, and the possibility of private discussions spilling into the public eye. Every step Jasmine and Kirk took was analyzed, every nod and smile dissected for hidden meaning. Outside, speculation reached a fever pitch. Fans argued, theorized, and debated, their voices a chorus of curiosity and concern. Social media platforms exploded with content, each clip, each comment adding fuel to the fire. The absence of Rasheeda loomed over every observation, a shadow that added weight to every gesture and glance. Inside, the boutique's atmosphere was thick with anticipation. The usual glamour and excitement were interwoven with a tension that seemed almost tangible. Guests whispered about potential confrontations, moments of jealousy, and the unspoken questions that hung in the air like delicate glass, ready to shatter at the slightest provocation. Jasmine, seemingly unfazed, moved gracefully through the crowd, yet her presence carried an undercurrent of challenge, a subtle assertion that she belonged, that she was part of a story that was far from ordinary. Kirk, balancing charm with caution, navigated each interaction with careful precision, aware that the night's unfolding events could define perceptions, relationships, and future narratives in ways that no one outside the inner circle could fully anticipate. And so, the night continued, a blend of opulence, drama, and unspoken tension, setting the stage for confrontations, revelations, and moments that would be dissected by fans, insiders, and social media alike. Every glance, every exchange, every subtle gesture built upon the last, crafting a narrative of intrigue, suspense, and emotional complexity that promised to captivate audiences long after the boutique's doors closed. The story, far from concluded, had only begun to unfold, leaving everyone inside and outside the boutique on edge, waiting for the next twist in a drama that seemed destined to dominate headlines, conversations, and imaginations alike. The tension was unrelenting, the stakes high, and the questions lingering. What would happen when Rasheeda arrived, if she arrived at all? How deep did the connections, secrets, and emotions run? Fans were on the edge of their seats, captivated by every detail, every hint, every flicker of emotion that suggested a story far larger than a single boutique opening, a story that intertwined love, loyalty, jealousy, and family in ways that would be dissected, debated, and devoured by an audience hungry for drama. The energy in the boutique had reached a fever pitch as the night wore on, the mix of luxury and tension creating a charged atmosphere that seemed almost alive. Whispers among guests evolved into hushed debates, speculation about hidden intentions running rampant. Kirk Frost, usually the center of calm amidst chaos, showed subtle signs of unease. His eyes darted toward the entrance more than once, a faint crease forming between his brows, as if anticipating an arrival that could change everything. Jasmine Bleu, however, seemed unbothered by the underlying storm. She floated through the crowd with a poised confidence, her laughter ringing out, though sharper this time, layered with an intensity that caught even the most observant fans off guard. Cameras followed their every move, and fans outside continued to press their phones against the glass, shouting questions that went unanswered. "Where is Rasheeda?" The chants grew louder, a relentless echo that mirrored the tension inside. Insiders hinted that a private disagreement earlier that day had set the stage for the unfolding drama. Some claimed Kirk had received a message from Rasheeda that morning, a text that sparked a heated exchange, but the details remained a closely guarded secret. The boutique, with its mirrored walls and glittering chandeliers, reflected not only the opulent displays but also the undercurrents of anxiety, excitement, and unspoken conflict. Jasmine paused by a table showcasing limited edition handbags, her fingers lightly brushing the leather as she glanced at Kirk. The brief eye contact carried an unspoken message, a subtle assertion of presence that fans immediately interpreted as flirtatious, though insiders suggested a more complex dynamic. Kirk smiled politely, his posture measured, yet his eyes betrayed a flicker of internal calculation. Every gesture, every glance, seemed laden with meaning, fueling speculation and intensifying the buzz both inside and outside the boutique. A staff member, clearly uneasy, whispered to a colleague about the heightened tension. "It's like walking through a live soap opera," they murmured, eyes wide. One wrong move, and it could all explode. Indeed, the night felt like a delicate balancing act, where every interaction had the potential to ignite drama, and every silence spoke volumes. Fans on social media dissected every frame of video, interpreting brief exchanges, subtle smiles, and fleeting gestures, Theories ranged from secret alliances to covert arguments, each post layering additional intrigue onto an already combustible situation. Meanwhile, Kirk and Jasmine continued to engage with guests, but the undercurrent of emotion was palpable. A brief moment occurred when Kirk laughed softly at something Jasmine said, yet the smile didn't fully reach his eyes. Insiders noted the slight tension in his shoulders, the careful placement of his hands, the subtle distance he maintained in certain interactions. Fans were shocked, creating memes and posts within seconds, each one speculating about the hidden narrative. The absence of Rasheeda remained the central question, a looming presence in the conversation. Some claimed she was intentionally avoiding the event. Others suggested she was watching from afar, every movement analyzed, every shadow interpreted as a potential sign of looming confrontation. The narrative quickly became more elaborate. Rumors spread of a prior argument, allegedly involving jealousy, perceived slights, and accusations that had been kept from the public eye. Sources claimed that Jasmine had made a bold statement earlier in the day, something that left Kirk momentarily unsettled, though publicly he maintained composure. Inside the boutique, conversations grew more charged. Friends of both parties whispered in corners, their voices tinged with curiosity and concern. "Did you see that glance?" one asked. "There's history there, and it's boiling just beneath the surface." Another added, "Rasheeda's absence is the only reason this isn't turning into a full-blown scene already." The tension was undeniable. Jasmine moved with deliberate grace, her laughter occasionally slicing through the charged atmosphere, creating a juxtaposition of elegance and subtle provocation. Kirk responded with practiced charm, engaging in polite conversation. Yet every eye in the room noted the small, telling gestures, a tightening jaw, a fleeting pause, a subtle shift in stance. The crowd outside continued to press against the glass, phones recording, fans debating in real time. Their excitement mingled with anxiety. Hashtags demanding answers trended rapidly, spreading rumors and theories, adding fuel to a public spectacle that had already reached a fever pitch. Then came a pivotal moment. As Kirk and Jasmine approached a display of exclusive jewelry, a sudden commotion at the boutique entrance drew everyone's attention. A guest, clearly agitated, shouted a question, inadvertently triggering a ripple of reaction across the room. Jasmine turned smoothly, eyes sharp yet composed, while Kirk subtly moved closer, his presence protective, almost instinctively. The room seemed to hold its collective breath. Insiders whispered that the moment could have escalated into confrontation, but careful poise prevented it, at least temporarily. Yet the tension lingered, a thin veil over the evening's glamour. Conversations among attendees grew more layered, each remark potentially loaded with hidden meaning. Gossip intertwined with observation as friends speculated about past interactions, possible resentments, and the subtle dynamics that had brought Kirk and Jasmine together in this charged setting. Every exchange became material for interpretation. Fans outside speculated endlessly. Some claimed to have caught a glimpse of Rasheeda earlier, only to vanish mysteriously. Others theorized about secret phone calls, hidden alliances, or clandestine agreements that could change everything. Social media was a storm of speculation, with comments and live posts fueling the narrative. Insiders whispered about the potential for future confrontation, the notion that even the most controlled public demeanor might unravel at the slightest provocation. Kirk and Jasmine's subtle gestures were scrutinized endlessly, from the tilt of a head to the brief touch of an arm, each interpreted as a sign of deeper, hidden connections. The boutique became a stage, the guests unwitting actors in a drama that blended real emotions with speculative intrigue. The night stretched on, each interaction layered with complexity. Jasmine's poised confidence was almost theatrical, commanding attention while hinting at underlying tension. Kirk's careful navigation of social interactions conveyed both charm and restraint, signaling an acute awareness of the charged environment and the potential fallout from even minor missteps. The whispers of past disagreements, unspoken grievances, and possible betrayals lingered in the air, creating a delicate web that connected every gesture, glance, and conversation. Fans outside continued to theorize, their excitement and anxiety growing with each passing minute. Social media amplified every nuance, from subtle smiles to fleeting frowns, crafting a narrative that suggested intrigue, drama, and secrets to tempting to ignore. Insiders noted that the boutique's atmosphere was unlike any previous event, a blend of glamour, tension, and anticipation that felt almost cinematic. Each moment was a potential turning point, every interaction a possible revelation. As the evening moved toward its peak, the subtle power plays between Jasmine and Kirk became more pronounced. A slight laugh here, a careful adjustment of posture there, each action layered with potential meaning. Guests whispered about prior arguments, secret conversations, and the complex history that had brought these two figures together in such a public, yet tension-filled setting. Fans were captivated, unable to look away. Speculation ran wild, blending reality with imagination, as the narrative grew more intricate with each passing moment. The absence of Rasheeda loomed over every interaction, a constant, unspoken question that framed the night's drama. Would she arrive? Had she already left? Or was her presence felt in ways that the public could not yet see? Every gesture, every smile, every glance was interpreted through the lens of her absence, adding layers of intrigue and heightening anticipation. Insiders reported that private conversations earlier in the day had set the stage for subtle confrontations, hints of jealousy, and calculated gestures that now played out in front of an eager, observant crowd. Fans are shocked as the drama unfolded in real time, social media trending with every development. The boutique, though lavish and beautiful, became secondary to the live narrative of tension, allure, and complex relationships, each interaction built upon the last, creating a storyline of intrigue, suspense, and emotional intensity that would dominate headlines and fan conversations long after the night ended. And yet, even as the evening progressed, the story was far from concluded. The questions lingered. What secrets had been exchanged behind closed doors earlier in the day? How would Rasheeda's presence, if it appeared, shift the dynamic? And what other unexpected twists might unfold before the night was over? Fans watched, captivated, as the drama continued to unfold in real time. A live spectacle that blurred the lines between celebrity, private emotion, and public fascination. Every glance, every gesture, every whispered comment became a piece of a larger, riveting puzzle that promised intrigue, suspense, and drama for days to come. The tension inside the boutique only intensified as the evening unfolded. Whispers had evolved into full-blown conversations, each guest speculating about hidden motives, secret exchanges, and the implications of Rasheeda's absence. Kirk Frost maintained his usual composure outwardly, but insiders noted subtle signs of Uniza's slight tightening of his jaw, a flicker of hesitation in his movements, and an occasional glance toward the entrance as if expecting something to change the course of the night. Jasmine Bleu, on the other hand, radiated a poised confidence, her every gesture and glance calculated to command attention and assert presence. Fans outside continued their vigil, shouting questions and waving signs demanding answers, their voices blending into a continuous hum of anticipation and speculation. "Where is Rasheeda?" they chanted repeatedly, their urgency mirrored in the frenzy on social media, where live streams and trending hashtags amplified every moment. The boutique, with its gleaming marble floors and golden accents, became a stage for a subtle battle of power, control, and public perception. Guests exchanged knowing looks, their conversations layered with curiosity, judgment, and an almost palpable sense of excitement as they tried to interpret every micro-expression from Kirk and Jasmine. A brief encounter near the jewelry display drew immediate attention. Kirk's hand briefly brushed against Jasmine's as they both reached for a necklace, a moment that sent a ripple of speculation through onlookers. Fans outside were quick to interpret it as flirtation, while insiders whispered about the possibility of strategic positioning, a subtle maneuver in a game of emotional chess. Meanwhile, the absence of Rasheeda dominated internal and external narratives alike. Some claimed she had made a dramatic exit earlier, others suggested she was observing from a distance, each theory adding to the electric suspense that surrounded the event. Inside, the air was thick with layered emotions. Guests murmured about potential past confrontations, unspoken grievances, and secrets that might surface at any moment. Every exchange between Kirk and Jasmine was dissected, analyzed, and speculated upon, creating a dynamic that was as much psychological as it was social. The energy reached another level when a sudden interruption occurred. A staff member accidentally knocked over a decorative piece, drawing the attention of the guests and momentarily breaking the carefully maintained atmosphere. Jasmine reacted instantly, her sharp laugh slicing through the tension as she restored calm with effortless poise. Kirk moved subtly to her side, a protective presence that was noticed by everyone, further fueling speculation about their dynamic. Conversations resumed quickly, this time more charged than before. Whispers of prior disagreements, alleged secret meetings, and calculated gestures circulated among guests, each narrative more tantalizing than the last. Insiders claimed that Jasmine had strategically positioned herself to command attention, a move that did not go unnoticed by Kirk. whose subtle nods and brief smiles suggested an unspoken agreement or understanding between them. Fans outside became increasingly animated. Theories about secret text exchanges, hidden tensions, and potential confrontations dominated online discussions. Social media feeds exploded with images, clips, and speculative commentary, turning the boutique event into a spectacle far beyond its original purpose. Kirk and Jasmine navigated the evening with a mixture of charm, calculation, and emotional awareness. Each interaction with guests was measured, each smile carefully crafted, and each glance layered with potential meaning. Fans scrutinized every move, from the tilt of a head to the subtle positioning of hands, interpreting each as evidence of underlying narrative threads. The boutique became a microcosm of drama, tension, and intricate social dynamics. What was meant to be a celebration of fashion and luxury had transformed into a live performance of intrigue, suspense, and emotional intensity. Every guest, every fan, and every camera lens became part of the unfolding story, amplifying the stakes and creating a narrative that was both public spectacle and intimate drama. As the evening progressed, subtle power plays became more pronounced. Jasmine's presence dominated the room, her movements deliberate, her laughter strategically timed, and her interactions carefully designed to command attention while simultaneously hinting at deeper layers of emotion. Kirk balanced charm with caution, each step and gesture revealing a keen awareness of the charged environment and the potential consequences of even minor missteps. Rumors circulated about previous encounters, alleged jealousies, and hidden grievances that had set the stage for this highly charged appearance. Insiders whispered about conversations that may have occurred earlier that day, private exchanges that carried implications far beyond what anyone in attendance could fully comprehend. Fans were riveted, live streams and trending posts captured every moment, and each clip was analyzed for subtle signs of tension, flirtation, or hidden conflict. The absence of Rasheeda became a central theme, framing every observation and adding layers of intrigue to the unfolding drama. In one corner of the boutique, two guests engaged in a heated conversation about the potential implications of the evening. "It's like watching a slow-burning explosion," one whispered, eyes wide with fascination. "Every move counts, and one misstep could set off a chain reaction." The other nodded, equally captivated, noting how the interplay of gestures, glances, and interactions created a rich tapestry of suspense. Every movement was significant. A casual touch of an arm, a fleeting smile, or a carefully timed glance carried implications that resonated throughout the room. Fans outside speculated endlessly, each new video clip adding fuel to the frenzy. Insiders noted the careful choreography, the unspoken understanding, and the delicate balance of emotion and perception that framed the evening. Yet, despite the charged atmosphere, the narrative was far from static. Each second brought the potential for escalation, revelation, or unexpected shifts. The audience, both inside and outside the boutique, remained captivated, drawn into a web of intrigue that blurred the line between reality and speculation. As the night wore on, subtle tensions evolved into moments of high drama. Kirk's attention occasionally flicked toward entrances, his posture tense with anticipation, while Jasmine maintained her composure with calculated elegance. Guests murmured about prior arguments, secret conversations, and the potential for unforeseen confrontations. Fans online reacted in real time, interpreting the smallest gestures as evidence of hidden narratives, each post layering additional speculation onto an already complex scenario. The boutique, though filled with luxury and opulence, became secondary to the unfolding psychological drama. Each interaction between Kirk and Jasmine, every exchange with guests, and every fleeting glance carried weight, significance, and the potential to alter the perception of the night entirely. Insiders whispered about subtle maneuvers, past conflicts, and possible strategic alliances, creating a backdrop of intrigue that heightened the emotional stakes. Social media was a storm of speculation, hashtags demanding explanations, questioning motives, and dissecting every micro-expression trended globally. Fans debated, theorized, and constructed narratives that intertwined romance, jealousy, loyalty, and power into a single, sprawling tapestry of drama. The tension was relentless. Each moment felt like a scene from a high-stakes drama, every second contributing to an overarching narrative of intrigue, suspense, and emotional intensity. The absence of Rasheeda loomed over every interaction, a constant, invisible presence that framed the unfolding events. Would she appear? Had she already left? Or was her influence felt silently, shaping the behavior of Kirk, Jasmine, and everyone around them? As the evening continued, subtle gestures became more pronounced. Jasmine's poised confidence contrasted with Kirk's careful charm, creating a dynamic that drew attention, speculation, and endless discussion. Insiders noted the delicate balance of emotion, calculation, and anticipation, each layer adding complexity to an already charged environment. Fans were hooked. Every video, every photo, and every whispered comment became a piece of an evolving narrative that promised intrigue, scandal, and drama beyond the confines of the boutique. And even as the night moved toward its climax, the story was far from resolved. Every glance, every interaction, every subtle gesture built anticipation for potential revelations, confrontations, and dramatic turns that could redefine relationships, perceptions, and public fascination for weeks to come. The boutique, for all its luxury and elegance, had become a theater of human emotion, public spectacle, and captivating drama, leaving everyone inside and outside on edge, waiting for the next twist in a story that refused to be ignored. And so, as the night winds down and the boutique lights dim, the drama is far from over. Questions still hang in the air, like sparks ready to ignite. Will Rasheeda finally make an appearance? What secrets were exchanged behind closed doors? How will Kirk and Jasmine navigate the ripple effects of this event? Fans are watching, analyzing, and waiting for every subtle hint, every glance, every move that could unravel the next chapter in this tangled story. Now, it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think is really going on between Kirk and Jasmine? Will Rasheeda confront them, or has the drama already played out behind the scenes? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know what you think will happen next. Make sure to hit that like button if you are shocked by tonight's revelations. Subscribe to stay updated on every twist and turn, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single moment of this ongoing saga. Every theory, every opinion, and every prediction matters. So join the conversation and be part of the story. Your voice could even spark the next wave of drama, so comment, like, and subscribe now, because this story is just getting started. And trust us, you won't want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and remember, in a world full of secrets, alliances, and betrayals, your curiosity is the front row seat to the drama that continues to unfold.